Sabrina Carpenter, thank you so much. Welcome into Top 40.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you've been you're out traveling. I've seen you've been to Sweden.
Yeah, I was there a couple of days ago. That was my first time there. I only spent 2 days there, but I'm going back soon. So.
Did you love it?
I loved it. It was beautiful. I didn't get to see as much as I'd like to, but the little bit that I did see was wonderful.
Because I saw on Instagram that you posted a lot and seemed like you loved it. And you know, Norwegians and Swedish people, we have kind of like a you gotta love us more than them kind of. Can you say that by what you've seen of Norway, you love Norway more?
Is anybody from Sweden in this room?
No.
Norway's amazing. Norway's the best. I mean, I can't even tell you. It's just like night and day.
Right.
I mean, no, but they are both wonderful. But I hope to spend more time in each of them. Like, I hope to come back and tour soon. Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Your music does really well over here.
Thank you.
I mean, I think
I'm just finding out about this. Right. I really didn't know.
When I checked, I think we're like your 5th biggest market right now.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I just found that out this morning. I didn't realize that you guys were such a big market. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I'm thinking like I mean, I know a lot of Americans are thinking like Norway, Sweden, do I really need it? Isn't it just a small little country up there? But it's good to have it.
I remember someone told me this story a long time ago about this man who was like, every single time he'd see a penny or something, he'd pick it up on the ground, and he was like the richest man. Like, he literally had so much money. And then this woman was walking with him, and he saw a penny on the ground, so he picked it up and put it in his pocket. And she was like, "What do you need a penny for?" And he was like, "How do you think I got to where I am?"
Right.
And I was like, that's really, like, in the big picture, it is so much of like every little bit counts, and every little bit gets you to where you are. It's the big picture.
Right. True. So true. I gotta say, I really love your music.
Thank you.
I'm a huge fan of singer-songwriters. I'm a huge fan of the people who manage to tell a story through their song.
Thank you.
And where you can hear that I'm not just singing this because someone wrote it down on a piece of paper. It's really, and I feel like I'm just like jumping into your story. Like, it just goes word by word. I just love it. Where do you find inspiration for your music?
Great question. I think I've been so lucky that I've had to, not that I've had to, but I've gotten to have so many life experiences that I didn't think I'd have by the time I was this age. And they're different life experiences, you know. So sometimes it's hearing stories from other people that inspire me. Sometimes it's just living and seeing things on my own. And sometimes it's just really diving into how I'm feeling, and just being able to create stories among that.
The whole thing of the living 9 to 5, and we work for other people and they work for other people, and we just end up making, you know, that same money going around and around. Do you feel like that? Is that a part of life that you want no part of?
The mediocrity? Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that, and even I get stuck in it too, like, you know, if I'm just writing to write and I'm not writing because I feel inspired, then it's, you know, there's no point in forcing it. So I think it really is that. It's just kind of like, don't do something just because the world, you know, is telling you that's the proper thing to do. Do whatever your heart tells you, and follow your heart, and hopefully it'll take you to places that keep you excited and keep you in love and keep you falling in love with everything you do.
And I feel like you've done that. I mean, Disney Channel and actress, and then music, and you've done music the whole time while you've been an actress. And I think, do you feel like a lot of people go, oh, from Disney to music, like so many others? You know,
I still have to deal with that. I mean, I think that's something that for a while I'll have to do it, because I mean, not everybody knows the whole story, which is totally fine. And I don't know the whole story about a lot of people either. And I think it's just something that you deal with. But I think, you know, it's nice that I know that I started with music. I didn't really know what acting was until I was, you know, old enough to understand it. It really is kind of a weird concept, because you don't carry it with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't physically bring it with you. It's not like an instrument that you play. It's just kind of like emotions. Right. So yeah, I started with music, and that's always been something that I knew for sure.
And I feel like that goes for a lot of people that are known as actors or actresses, and then they actually did make music the whole time. And it's all about showing emotions and putting them out there and describing them and delivering them in some sort of a product. And
they're very cohesive. I think. I mean, they're so different at the same time as they are very cohesive. They're obviously just very creative, both of them, which is probably why I love them both so much. Right.
If you were not going to do what you're doing, what would you be doing?
What would I be doing? Great question. If I wasn't singing or acting, I mean, I wish that I'd probably still do something within this whole world. Like, I think it's so interesting when you look into the behind the scenes of like producers and songwriters and, you know, casting directors and producers for film and directors. Like, I'm so interested in every aspect of it that I think I'd probably want to do something that's still in this world, but maybe just not in front of the camera.
I think that's why you're so good at it, because I think when you do one role in a bigger picture and you understand that there is a bigger picture and there are people in other parts of that big picture, that's when you do your role good. When you don't walk around thinking this is it, this is
no, you're not the only person, that's for sure.
Right.
It's a big world.
Right. So when you are going to make music, who do you go to and where do you go?
When I'm going to make music, I usually go to a studio because there's a microphone and that's very helpful. It kind of depends though. I've with each of my album cycles, I've kind of been able to meet new people and experience writing with new people and get to gel with new combinations of different people. And I think that that's a really cool thing for me to do because I feel like every single cycle that I have, I'm constantly, you know, personally, I feel like I'm doing better than I did the last time. And that's how I always want to feel. I always want to feel like I'm being challenged or I'm trying something different or I'm getting a sound that I've never heard myself being capable of doing before. Right. So I think it's different. But I usually, I go with people that I trust and people that I feel comfortable with and people that I feel confident in that they are going to help me, you know, tell my stories the way that I tell them myself.
That is very like confident to be able to go into a studio with the microphone and that's where you make the music. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I got to be like sitting by my bed with the guitar and then I make it there and then later I'm ready to go in the studio."
Well, I think it's different. I do a lot of my own writing when I'm alone and when it's like either in my bedroom or it's when I'm just traveling and you know I'm in a pretty place and I get inspired, so I feel like I need to just write. But as far as like making the actual music and creating the songs, I think there's a lot of magic that happens in the rooms with the microphones and the no windows. It's weird. You kind of feel like you're shut out from the rest of the world.
True.
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. Did you play Vivian? Is it? Did you in Sophia the First? Because your song was in Sophia the First, right?
Yeah.
But did you also play Vivian?
I did.
Oh my goodness! If my 5-year-old daughter
does your
was
daughter
here,
like Sophia the First?
Oh wow!
I think I booked that when I was. I'm pretty sure I was 9 years old. Like I was very young. Okay, maybe 10 or 11. But it was so long ago. And then I never realized that the last day that I went in to record the episode for that show, that it was my last time ever recording for that show because it goes so fast when you're doing animation. Now I'm doing a new animated show, which is really fun.
So that started when you were 9. But like, how did this all start for you? When did you wake up and realize this is what I want to do?
Truthfully, I think I was 6. And this is embarrassing, but I was watching Hannah Montana and it was the first episode. It was the pilot episode of that show. And because she was doing 2 things at once, she was like a normal girl and then she was a singer at night. And I was just like, I want to be an actress and a singer. I want to do both. Yeah. And I was lucky. I'm lucky right now that I'm getting to do both.
And I love that it's okay for a little girl to say, I'm going to be an actress and a singer, then that's okay.
Yeah, and if you don't do it, then, you know, it's fine. But if you do, then, you know, it just shows you that hard work and determination. Like, it's all part of it.
Right. In Norway, we can tend to be a little like, don't expect too much and don't push the kids and don't say this.
Of course.
And my daughter, she's the first one to say if you ask her that she is a pop star. And I'm all for that. I don't think it's anything wrong with that. Do you feel through your childhood that it's been any pressure or any, you know, that you've had to do a certain thing?
I never felt pressure that I had to. In fact, if I never brought it up, I don't think I'd be doing this at all. Because I grew up in a place where it wasn't common. I lived in the middle of the woods and it was just, you know, honestly, I think it was just myself that told me that I wanted to do music, obviously, first. Like I said, I just wanted to sing. And however I was going to do that, I just wanted to sing. And my parents would always support me. And then once I said I wanted to act, they were supportive in that. And I'm very lucky. I do know that because I know that there's a lot of situations or scenarios where you don't have the people around you supporting you or thinking you can do it. But I was always pretty determined. So
that's cool. And do you think I've asked a lot of you know, younger artists in Hollywood that, you know, they all have an advice for how not to lose grip of reality and how to stay grounded. What is your advice on that?
What's my advice on how to not lose your grip? I don't know. I freak out every 5 seconds. I think, but I also think that's part of like the artist sort of mentality. I think you're supposed to be a little unstable because I think sometimes that's how you make like your best creations.
I agree.
Is if you don't really always know what you're doing. But I do think that there is something to say in, you know, having people around you that know you best and have known you since the beginning and know where you started and where you've ended up or where you're going. Because, you know, it's nice to almost see it from different eyes sometimes, like because sometimes we don't realize that we have grown so much until we look back and we're like, wow, everything's different. But other people, you know, they do see you evolving and changing every single day. And so it's nice to have people that can remind you of where you came from.
And that's so true. And Miley Cyrus has said some of the same things. She said, you know, we're supposed to be unstable.
Yeah.
Don't say that, you know, well, you got to stay stable. You got to be grounded.
Well, any normal human wouldn't have to be stable ever. I think it's just this like magical thinking that, you know, because we do things that look like they're a little bit unrealistic, that we're supposed to be like unrealistic people. But it's very normal. Like we feel probably more than normal people sometimes because we just don't. We can't control it.
Right. All right. You've said that you're inspired by Christina Aguilera and Adele. Who else and why them?
Who else and why them? I was always inspired by big voices. Voices that just caught your attention from the minute that the song started. Rihanna, Beyonce. There's so many incredible voices that I love, but those were some of the first. I think I was just attracted to them because it was like you can hear the confidence in their vocals. They didn't have to say it; they just were. It was just like that air of confidence that was always something that I admired as a little girl. And I think it just goes to show you that there are so many, you know, strong women that have kind of taken over this industry, and I think it's really cool to see that. It's super inspiring.
And I feel also like no matter what the music industry comes to, no matter how many albums you have to give out every year because that's what we want, or no matter who people you have to work with that you didn't think, or what genre you have to go into, nothing beats a strong voice.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing. And I think, I mean, obviously we're living in a world now where it feels like every Friday is Christmas because we get new music. Yes. And that's such a cool feeling. But you definitely always know when something stands out, when something feels special. And I think that's something that I've always loved about music from the beginning. It's just, it makes you feel a way that you can't describe.
All right. Can you play a little game with me at the end here?
Yes.
All right. So we do this with every artist that comes in. I read something online. Tell me if you think it's true or a full-on lie.
Okay.
Flowers grow faster if they are exposed to music.
That's a lie.
It's true.
Are you serious?
Isn't that so beautiful?
That's so poetic.
I know.
I feel deeply inspired. Wow. That's so cool. I can put that in a lyric. Yeah.
Yes, please do.
Great.
And get my name in there somewhere
I
if you
will.
can.
Yeah. I'll just slip it in there.
All right. Elephants are pregnant for 6 years.
No.
You're right. But they are pregnant for 2 years.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Wow.
All right, here's the next one. The King of Norway owns his very own polar bear, and it's nice to people. Every Sunday at 7 p.m., the guard walks with the bear, and people can pet it.
I want to say that's true because I want to pet a polar bear.
It's a lie, but it would have been amazing. All right, the next one. Our Norwegian princess can talk to angels. She has psychic powers and runs an angel school where she teaches people to communicate with angels.
So I'm going to say no, but you're going to say that it's right.
It is right.
That's insane.
That's
okay, I'm sorry. I thought I was unstable. That's a lot.
That's a lot. I agree.
That's a lot. She has a school.
Yes.
An angel school.
Yes.
I don't know. What's the qualification? How do you get in?
I have no idea. But
wow.
I kind of want to get in.
I kind of want to talk to her just for 5 minutes. You know how they're always like, who would you eat dinner with? It would be her.
That would be her? Well,
yeah.
okay. Well,
yeah.
we can let her know.
Okay, great.
Top